Space. That big emptiness. Space date 3258. Dear Diary, after yesterday's exciting adventure on an unidentified planet, in which we found a new power source for the engines and an alien ally, we are now traveling through the stars, seeking a familiar system. Lieutenant Splagic, meanwhile, is currently engaging in some dark art called triangulation, through which he hopes to divine our location. Sounds just like whistling. Ah, Lieutenant Splagic. Have that report?
Yes, sir. The engines are at 100% capacity. The ship is ready for your command.
Excellent. But before we go anywhere, perhaps you can show me around my new ship.
Of course. First, perhaps you should be introduced to our ship's computer. Now, computer, say hi to the captain.
Hi, to the captain.
Lieutenant, that's not a computer. It's just a glowing light.
Why, thank you, Captain. And I regret to inform you that your face still looks like a group of rather misshapen pixels.
Here is our communications center. Radio, television, and so on. This is Emerla, our communications officer. And over there is our piloting controls. Officer Jeffrey, would you please explain your station to the captain?
Sure. This thingy tells us where we are, and this joystick is used to I forget what the joystick's for. And then there's
Officer, what is it?
this button. It wasn't there before.
What do you mean it wasn't there before?
Perhaps he means that at a previous point in time, that location did not contain a button.
That would be a logical explanation of the statement, sir.
Of course, this isn't the first time weird things have happened on board. It's really spooky, but this ship has been haunted for centuries.
But that's impossible. This ship was only built last year.
Oh, I know. That's why it's so spooky. It says PLOT.
A plot device.
You know what it is?
Yes, sir, but I would rather not talk about it.
What?
It is a topic that makes us more logical creatures distinctly uncomfortable, Captain.
Well, by all means then, don't tell me if it's going to blow up the ship or anything.
Why not?
Wait, Captain, here it is. PLOT. Polylinear Logic Overcoming Theory. A theory of modern chemists that, if subneutrino particles can be split, all standard causality would be temporarily suspended in a localized area. It seems to have some military interest, as many people believe it could be harnessed as a weapon.
Apparently someone succeeded and installed it on this ship.
This is probably just a prototype device, sir. Still, that would make this ship rather significant for the war effort. Certainly it must not be allowed to fall into Zygrian hands.
We should not let this ship fall into Zygrian hands.
So, if I press the button, what would happen?
Logic would be suspended. Anything could happen. Your guess would be as good as mine. In fact, a good deal better.
Oh. Wait. What if I don't have a guess?
Such a device is an abomination. It must be destroyed.
I couldn't agree more.
No, wait. Just because we don't know what a device will do, doesn't mean that what it will do will be bad.
Yes, it does.
That's not logical. You don't know what it's going to do. It could be good or bad.
Don't tell me what is logical. I am a computer with 70,114 logic circuits. I know logical. How many logic circuits do you have? 2? Let me decide what is logical. And I say destroy it.
I'm not going to destroy it if it can't do anything if we don't even use it. And that settles that.
Hortense, Laiki.
Well, yes, and that takes care of that too.
So, if I press this, you might turn into a pickle.
Conceivably, he might.
No way.
Sweet or dill? Because I don't like those sweet pickles very much.
Enough! It is not necessary to discuss the consequences of me turning into a pickle.
It's your own fault for not destroying the damned thing. If you'd taken my advice, none of this would have ever happened.
Captain, we're intercepting a transmission.
Well, go ahead and put it on the speakers.
It is being transmitted on all frequencies, so it's probably not important. But alright.
This is a top secret, highly important message. Incredibly important. It is meant for Zygrian commanders only. If you are not a Zygrian commander, turn off your radio. This message is not meant for Coalition commanders, and is especially not meant for Dirk Smiley, captain of the Surprise. So if he is listening, he should turn off his radio now.
Wait. Don't turn it off.
But he just told you to.
I've got a hunch he's just trying to trick us into turning this off.
Now that I'm sure Captain Smiley is not listening, I will explain our diabolical plan. All Zygrian spacecraft in the Altera sector are to attack Coalition Station 601. This will quickly lead to the destruction of the Coalition and the enslavement of all humankind. Ha!
That's bad, right?
The only way we can be stopped is if Captain Smiley and the Surprise show up and stop us. It would be an unpleasant surprise if the Surprise did show up. Ha 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 ha! Get it? A surprise if the Surprise shows up? Ha ha!
Surprise if the I get it.
This is not, I repeat, not a trap so that we can capture the plot device on the Surprise. This is just an innocent attack on a space station that we don't want ruined by Captain Smiley, so there is absolutely no reason for him to be suspicious. Thank you. This top secret message will repeat in case anyone missed it.
Well, sir, that was a most interesting transmission. What do you plan to do about it?
Do about it? Why, fly back and save the station, of course!
Aren't you afraid it might be a trap?
Lieutenant! Such cynicism in one so young. They specifically told us it wasn't a trap. It's people like you who make the world as dark and unfriendly a place as you think it is. Besides which, if it were a trick, it would clearly be a trick to keep us from returning to base.
And how is that?
Clearly, if the message was meant to be a trick, they would tell us exactly the opposite of what they wanted. But they said they didn't want us to show up, and the opposite of that is us showing up. This leaves us with only one option: to return to base and stop them!
I must admit that it is hard to argue with that logic.
Yeah, the captain just made some good points.
I did not say that it was a good argument, merely that it was hard to argue with.
Well, if there are no more objections, we'll prepare to go into Station 601 with guns blazing. Jeffrey, on my mark.
Ready, Captain.
Ready, set, go! Ha! Got you, didn't I?
Almost, Captain. But if I'd press that button, we'd be at warp speed now.
You're right, maybe that was a bit dangerous. Okay, go ahead and press it now.
Here it goes.